Hey there, today we're going to talk about the basic controls of a motorcycle. Start over here on the left handlebars. This here is your clutch, probably one of the most important things to learn how to use properly on a motorcycle. This clutch engages and disengages the power to the rear wheel. When the clutch is pulled in, it disengages the power to the rear wheel. When it's completely released, it is engaged power to the rear wheel. This is important to learn because a lot of people when they first start riding will panic and don't realize that all they got to do to get control of the bike is pull in the clutch to eliminate the power to the rear wheel. Instead they'll release the clutch and hit the accelerator and the bike takes off from underneath them. The next thing on this is your brights for your lights. Just like brights in a car, you just flip them on and off. You got your primer here. This is what you use when it's been cold or you haven't ridden the bike in a few days or whatnot to get the bike started. This here is your turn signal. You push this left or right to turn left or right signal on, and then you depress it to turn the signal off. This here button here is your horn. In the center of the bike here you got your gauges. This is a 250, so you don't have a tachometer. A lot of bikes will have a tachometer. I actually think it's better that you don't have this on a starter bike because one of the problems with new riders is they have a tendency to look down at their hands, feet, instead of looking straight ahead to where they're going, which is the basic rule of riding a motorcycle. So this way you don't have anything to grab your attention away from what you should be doing. Right here is your neutral light. When you're in neutral, this will light up, and this is your turn signal light. When your turn signal's on, this will be lit up too. One of the things that you'll notice when you first start riding, you'll sometimes forget to turn it off because you'll forget to push this button in, because unlike a car, a lot of bikes you got to push this in to get it to shut off, so that'll let you know if you left your turn signal on. Over here on the right handlebars we have the front brake. The front brake supplies 70% of your braking power. A lot of people get afraid of the front brake because they think they'll lock it up and flip themselves over the handlebars. So the key to using the front brake is you just got to apply it slowly and evenly. You do need to learn how to use it with the rear brake to get 100% of your stopping power, especially in case of an emergency situation. This here is your panic kill switch. If the bike seems like it's out of control or whatnot, you just flip this switch and it will kill the bike instantly. This button here is the electric start for this motorcycle, and then you got your throttle over here for this motorcycle. And any motorcycle, actually, all the controls that I'm showing you are standard on pretty much any kind of motorcycle you ride. Here on the left side of the bike you got your gear shift. All the way down is first gear, and you'll know you're all the way down because you won't be able to push it anymore. A half click up from that is neutral. Sometimes it is hard to get it used to getting it in there depending on what kind of bike you're riding. And then as you're driving down the road, down, like I said, is first gear, and as you be shifting up, you give it a full click to second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then the same thing if you're downshifting, you just go back down, fourth, third, second, first. This here is your fuel flow valve. It's pretty much standard on most motorcycles. You got a full on switch, which is your normal setting when you're just riding your motorcycle. You got a primer setting and you got a reserve setting. The primer setting you'll hardly ever use. It's only if your motorcycle runs completely out of gas. What the reserve setting does is when your bike starts running low on gas, it'll start to sputter, and then if you flip it to the reserve setting, that'll give you enough gas to get to home or to the next gas station. Because like this bike, for instance, and your smaller bikes, they don't have a fuel gauge on them, so you got to kind of watch the mileage and whatnot to estimate when you're running low on gas. Okay, as you come over here to the right side of the bike, this here is your rear brake, and it works just like a brake on a car. You're just pushing it down. But remember, the rear brake only supplies 30% of your stopping power. So you need to learn how to use the rear brake and the front brake together in case of an emergency, so you get 100% stopping power and you stay under control and whatnot. Alright, that's the basic controls of a motorcycle, and like I said, this motorcycle here is a bit 250, which is used by a lot of the training courses you can take for motorcycles because it is a good beginner's bike. Take care and have a good day.